The Philadelphia Eagles obviously do not need to be rebuilt, but as most of y'all know, this is the series where I have to rebuild every team in the NFL. So today, we are going to be more so building the Eagles than rebuilding them, but this actually might be more of a challenge than you might expect. At least I think it could be. But there is also a chance this ends up being one of the best realistic rebuild teams I've ever built by the end of this. So we will have to see. Either way, this should be a ton of fun. And super quick, before we get into this was the team that was commented the most times on the last video. It was very close between the Eagles and the Cowboys, but y'all wanted to see the Eagles. So up next, we're doing the Cowboys. So down in the comments, going through the NFC, let me know if we should do the NFC South or NFC West next, and each comment counts as a vote. I think that's the best way to do it. I don't know. So let me know if you want to see me do the South or West after the Cowboys. And be sure to leave a like on the video. If we can get to 900 likes on this video, it'll let me know y'all want to see the next one early, but usually I do one of these per week because I'm busy with the main channel, which subscribe over there if you haven't already, link in the description. And of course, subscribe here if you haven't already. But without further ado, let's get into this. And like I just said, this should be a very easy rebuild. I mean, it's a good team. It has young studs on it. But the problem with every good team sooner or later is cap space. This team is going to get really expensive. So the struggle today is going to be keeping this team together. So we're going to see how well we can do that, and just, like I said, how ridiculous we can make this team, because I think it could be ridiculous. But all right, enough yapping. Let's get into more yapping. Let's get to, you know what? There probably won't be much to do at the midseason, so let's just get to the end of year number 1, and we will see how this team does. But okay, we finished 12-5, and we make the playoffs in year 1. That's probably about how the Eagles will do in real life. Maybe better. I mean, it could be worse. Jalen Hurts wasn't that great, though, in terms of stats. Only 22 touchdowns, 8 picks is fine. Nice completion percentage. Saquon Barkley, who is, assuming he stays healthy, he's probably going to have a monster year. I mean, you know, health is the big issue with him, but we'll see. 2 yards off of 1,500, 19 touchdowns, 1,000 yards for A.J. Brown, despite not much passing. The blocking was really good. 120 tackles for Devin White led the team. 13 TFLs for Brandon Graham, 11 for Jalen Carter, but sacks? I mean, this is probably going to be a scary pass rush in real life. I mean, Josh Sweat, Jalen Carter, you can use Devin White as a blitzer if you want. I mean, that's probably what he's best at. Brandon Graham, even though he's old, is still pretty good. Bryce Huff, Nolan Smith, like that's not going to be fun to go against. But here it wasn't great, of course. But for interceptions, 3 for CJ Gardner-Johnson, and then 1 for like 5 different players. Doubt we're going to have anyone up there for any awards. Actually, Hurts at number 6 for MVP. He must add rushing yards. I didn't look for some reason. Jamison Crowder up there for Offensive Player of the Year on the Jets. Only in Madden will you see that. Saquon at number 2 for Offensive Player of the Year, of course. Hurts at 6. Speaking of only in Madden, Jarvis Landry at 10 on the Cowboys. Jerry Hughes at number 4 for defense. What is this? What's happening? Are we back in like 2017? But Devin White at number 9 for Defensive Player of the Year. And then that's it. I mean, Jalen Carter was up there for Defensive Rookie of the Year, but he's not a rookie anymore. But we have a first of many scenario, and we'll go play it cool. Y'all know me. But let's see if we can beat the Bears. I would hope so, but it is Madden after all, so probably not. We do. We beat them 20-7. Okay, fair. And we have a recap for the first of many. Give us those sweet, juicy staff points. And now we're going to be taking on the Buccaneers. It's always weird to be in the playoffs year 1 because I haven't really done anything to the team yet, but let's see if we can move on to the conference championship already. I mean, if there is a team we should beat, the Buccaneers are only an 81 overall, and we do. 34-24. Oh yeah, the Eagles have Mekhi Becton. I forgot about that. And for some reason, he still had Superstar Dev in Madden. So I took that away and I gave Star Dev to Tyler Steen. I feel like that's fair. A fair trade-off. I mean, there's still hope for Mekhi Becton, but he hasn't been great. But we are going to be facing the Packers in the, almost said Super Bowl, hopefully Super Bowl, but in the conference championship, we are going to be facing the Packers. We deserve to win this game. 5 overall better than them, better record, and we're at home, and they beat us, of course. But okay, here's where the actual rebuild starts, and we're starting this off with some bad news. Something I didn't really expect. correct is that Lane Johnson retired. Don't know what we're gonna do about that. We're gonna have to figure something out. Obviously, Brandon Graham retired, but we're fine there. I really didn't expect Lane Johnson to retire. It didn't even cross my mind, so we're gonna need a tackle unless we want to trust Mekhi Becton, which I don't. Oh yeah, and also this is a typical Madden first free agent class with literally nobody, so why the Chiefs cut Xavier Worthy? That's cool. But all right, let's get to the draft and let's see what we can do. But okay, in the draft, we pick at number 30, and I don't know what I want to do here, to be honest. A lot of the players I wanted are gone. There's Mitch Geddes, who looks decent at receiver, but he's a deep threat. Oh, he's 6'5". Okay, wait. So he's a physical type, mislabeled, I guess, or he's just, I don't know. He actually looks pretty good if you think about him in that way. I mean, he's also a really good, like, run after catch receiver. I would almost guess he's a playmaker type, though. I might just take him out of curiosity. I feel like whenever I take these players, they're only like a 73 overall, but he looks pretty good, and he doesn't really have any major flaws other than, like, acceleration, which is only solid. Okay, yeah, I didn't really see anyone else I wanted at all, so we'll take him. Hidden dev, sounds good. Oh yeah, I'm kind of remembering something I did. I'm like, why does this draft class look so weak? So I might have messed up. I may or may not have forgotten to set strong draft classes in time, so it isn't the best draft class ever. So my fault. At least that'll be fixed next year. It says we need a defensive tackle. Why? Maybe we just don't have there. I don't know. But I think I'm gonna go with a linebacker here, just so we have, you know, more options there, because I don't want to be controversial or anything, but I don't feel like this is the best linebacker group in real life. As most of y'all know, I'm definitely not the biggest Devin White fan, but I guess we do have Nakobe Dean and Zach Bond. But let's go with George Carter. He looks good. Great speed and acceleration, good strength, good ratings. We'll take him. Hidden dev, sounds good. And now last pick I'm going to show, let's go with Jose Herrera. Anthony McKinney actually looks pretty good too. Who's stronger? Okay, definitely Herrera. First to second round talent, honestly doesn't look that good. He looks pretty good. Probably like a 73, 72 overall, I would guess. He does have hidden dev at least, so we'll take it. Okay, what a weird draft. We did well considering what we had to work with, really well actually. Because if Jose Herrera was a first to second round talent at only a 73 overall, almost said 73 years old. Well, let's just start with the top. Mitch Geddes, 73 overall. That's, I mean, he was a first to second round talent apparently, so that's a fair pick. I mean, that was a good prediction. I said 73 overall, and that's what he was. Same with Herrera. But George Carter is a 76. Probably going to go down at middle linebacker, but that's fine. Probably to like a 74, 75, but still really good. But I really did not expect this guy to be good. He did have a few really good traits, but Dave Starks is a 77 overall. He had, I think, a catching and elite agility. He has 90. Whoa. Okay, no, maybe it was a catching. That is the best short route running I've ever seen. He has 90 short route running as a rookie. 98 agility, 85 catching. I have never seen a player like this. 94 change of direction. I wasn't sure if this guy would be even a 70 overall. He's a 77. Maybe it's just because I don't use like the normal draft classes. I always use the strong ones because people complain if I don't use the strong ones, even though I think the normal ones are more realistic, but whatever. But let's see, where does Starks rank in the class? Is he like a top 10 player? He's ranked number 6, so pretty good pick. But yeah, very, very, very good first draft, even though it might not look like it, just looking at the overalls. But we got 4 first-round talents, pretty much, so let's get into year 2. But okay, here's a look at the team heading into year 2. Not bad. Probably worse than the real-life Eagles because, you know, Lane Johnson retired. But once we get a right tackle, we should be looking good. And if our O-line struggles this year, I think the plan is going to be moving Tyler Steen to right tackle, and then either Herrera or Juergens to right guard. We'll see. Probably Juergens, because Herrera's only like, yeah, 299. I don't know about that at guard. And then here's the defense. I don't really know who to start. We have so much depth, especially at corner, so I think we're going to go with Quinyon Mitchell, Isaiah Rodgers, and Cooper DeJean. Darius Slay regressed a lot. He was down to like I think he was a 79, but we spent a slot upgrade and it made him an 81, so that's cool, I guess. But yeah, he's old. I feel like he'll have a bounce back year in real life. I just feel like he fell victim to the horrible defensive coaching last year. But we'll start the younger players here. So let's get to the midseason point, and we will see how this team does. But at the midseason point, we are only only 4-3. I kind of thought we would do super well this year, and we are coming off of a 42-21 loss to the Falcons. I have a theory. I don't know if it's a correct theory because it was a strong position group last year, but whenever we underperform, how's the O-line doing? Okay, Mekhi Becton is not good. 4 sacks allowed through 7 games in a not very pass-heavy offense. That isn't great. So let's do what I plan to do, which is Herrera at center. We could also start Matt Hennessy. I like him, but we'll put Juergens at right guard, and then we'll try Steen at left or right tackle. I know he's a lower overall than Becton, but overall means nothing in this game. This could be a worse O-line. I don't know, but we might as well try something. So we'll see how this does. Unfortunately, Starks only has star dev. Carter only has star. I expected that. Okay, I don't think we got any good dev traits, only stars. I guess it depends on Geddes and Herrera, but they're both star too, probably. Oh yeah, and we have some re-signings this year, and a pretty good amount of them. We have 69 million cap to work with, nice. But Josh Sweat will go 4 years, 69.2 mil, nice. Reed Blankenship will go 3 years, 27. That's pretty cheap. He takes it. I feel like they extended him in real life. I don't know though. Kenny Pickett, I'm good. Y'all know how I feel about Kenny Pickett. Underrated, but we don't need him as a backup. We'll let him go start and probably be up there for MVP on the Vikings or something, like what usually happens in this game. But yeah, we'll re-sign Devin White, 3 years, 22 whatever mil. He doesn't take it. Isaiah Rodgers isn't interested. Neither is Milton Williams. We have a lot of players to re-sign this year. Pretty much all of our depth. Milton Williams is pretty cheap though. We'll go 4 years, 39. Just kidding. He doesn't take it. All right, we'll worry about all the rest of these at the end of the year. There are a lot of players here, but not exactly the most important players. So let's get to the end of the year and we will see how we finish. Okay, wow. Apparently that start to the season was just a fluke because we finished 13-4. To be honest, we probably should have done worse this year than last year. We definitely have a worse team on paper, but we'll take it. I won't complain. But let's check out our season stats. I see the Browns made the playoffs at 8-9 in the AFC. Looks like the AFC was strong this year. Actually, it might have been. The Chiefs were a wild card at 14-3, so maybe it actually was. But Jalen Hurts, 3,700 yards, 31 touchdowns, only 7 picks. I feel like he's also a very underrated QB. They're like, I saw some analyst, I don't know who it was, but someone was like, are we even sure Jalen Hurts is good? Like, I don't know where this whole hate for him even came from. Like, I don't know. He doesn't exactly have the hardest quarterback job in the world, but he's definitely a good QB and a top 10 QB, somewhere in the top 10. I don't know. But Saquon Barkley, 1,500 yards, 5.2 per carry, 22 touchdowns. I didn't check what Jalen Hurts did last year, but almost 700 yards rushing this year. Last year he had, okay, that freaked me out. Pretty much the same. I saw 3,700. I don't know why I just assumed it would go straight to rushing. I thought he had the best rushing season of all time last year, but no. But 1,100 yards for AJ Brown, 16 touchdowns, very good year. Starks as a rookie was okay, but really not much for Goddard or Smith. I almost want to switch to a more pass-heavy offense because we have such insane receivers. Like, I know we have Saquon, but even Saquon isn't rushing an insane amount for Madden. It's mostly Hurts, and Hurts is like, you know, quarterback rushing is really valuable in real life, but here, I don't know, our offense is good. I would feel bad switching it away from our current playbook when, you know, the offense is doing well as is. But the blocking was very good again. That's another positive of, you know, a not very pass-heavy offense. You don't really have to worry about the O-line pass blocking. But Devin White led the team in tackles again, lots of TFLs again, and sacks. 14 for Jalen Carter, but only 5.5 for Sweat, only 4.5 for Bryce Huff. Not great. See, that's one of the problems with the Eagles is their defensive players are awful in this game. I don't know why. Other than Jalen Carter, like, the pass rushers are rough. What? Devin White had one of the best linebacker seasons I've ever seen. 7 TFLs, 2 sacks, 8 interceptions. Okay, what do I do with this information? He had 1 last year, straight up to interesting. Possibly defensive player of the year. 4 for Quinyon Mitchell, 3 for Cooper DeJean, 2 for Reed Blankenship and Sidney Brown, and then 1 for George Carter and Isaiah Rodgers. Crazy amount of interceptions. I think the most I have ever had in a season in franchise is 21, really recently. Does that get broken here? It gets tied with 21. Okay, but of course, hey, here's my theory. We haven't seen a Dak MVP in quite a while in franchise, but when we're using the Eagles, he wins MVP. I actually don't think it's been that long, but still interesting. Jalen Hurts at 3, that's cool. Mac Jones at number 10 on the Vikings, so that means Kenny Pickett will go to the Raiders and be up there for MVP. But the white boy Cooper Kupp wins Offensive Player of the Year. It feels like we're in the past. We have a Dak MVP, Cooper Kupp Offensive Player of the Year. This is weird. Saquon at number 3, Hurts at 5, 5, Brown at 6, and Devin White does win Defensive Player of the Year. That wasn't exactly on my bingo card for this one. Jalen Carter at 4, Dave Starks at 5 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Of course, a Cowboy wins it. Who would have guessed? And Defensive Rookie of the Year, George Carter at number 3. So definitely a very good performance, but not necessarily the players that should have done well. Some of them for sure, at least on offense, but Devin White being our best defensive performer was interesting. But let's see who we are going to be taking on in the divisional. Probably like the Jags, or no, we're in the NFC, never mind. The Cowboys. Great. We have a playoff rival scenario. I think we all know how this one's going to go, though. Yo, did that rhyme? Bars, let's go. Probably one of the top 5 most cringe things I've ever said. You love to see it. But we have some upgrades. Anything important? No. But let's see if we can beat the Cowboys. I hope so. What did I expect? 45-13. We lose to a team that has the same overall as us. That's fun. And a worse record, and we're at home. Skill issue, I guess. I don't know. All the wind is taken out of my sails after that insanely hard challenge. I'm gonna pretend I don't see that Super Bowl. After that insanely hard challenge I just did. Which, go watch that after this video if you haven't already. I took a team with no players, and the goal was to win a Super Bowl, and it ended up being a 2-hour-long video. So I think you can see how happy I was by the end of that. I'm just waiting for the new college football game, but also I'm scared of that one because it's made by EA. But we have an upgrade for Devin White here. I'm surprised he only got 1. What? I'm giving him Superstar Dev. What? I don't know if I've ever, done this and cheated like this. You're telling me you get 8 interceptions, which should be a dev trait on its own, and you win Defensive Player of the Year, and you get 1 upgrade point? What? Yeah, no, we're giving him Superstar Dev. That's maybe the most insane thing I've ever seen in this game. Quinyon Mitchell gets X Factor? Did he have a good enough year to go from Superstar to X Factor? Like, 4 picks is cool. Only 9 pass deflections, which I guess is good for franchise. That's maybe like 14 for real life. Pass deflection numbers are weirdly low in this game. Also, Jalen Hurts got X Factor. That's fine. What? Geddes has X Factor. Mitch Geddes. What are we gonna do with him? I don't know if we can justify starting him over Starks. This is the most Madden franchise ass shit I've ever seen. What is happening? Cooper DeJean got Superstar Dev too. And yeah, I glossed over it because it's stupid, but we had a Packers-Chargers 14-7 Super Bowl. That's awesome. I'm sure the Chargers aren't like an 81 overall or anything. I'm not exactly gonna be very accepting of Madden's shenanigans, we'll call them, today after yesterday. Oh yeah, and the one, I forgot this is a second channel video. The one is on the main channel, the what should I call it? The mentally taxing rebuild. But Devin White will go player friendly, 5 years, 51 mil. Awesome. Epic even. Milton Williams, I'm okay. Isaiah Rodgers, if they're not interested, then you're not interested. Go away. Everyone else we're good letting go. I guess we could re-sign Jake Elliott, but we'll just do that in free agency. I don't really care. I think kicker's an underrated position in real life, and punter, but in Madden, you can have a 95 overall kicker and they'll kick like 62% on field goals. But you can have like a 71 overall and they'll kick 92%. I don't know. But in free agency, it is thankfully a good class. Good. What do we need though? I mean, our O-line isn't great on paper, but it's performing well. Let's see, I'll move these players to their actual positions where they played last year, but we kind of need a pass rusher. I mean, Bryce Huff, I like him a lot in real life, obviously. I think that was a very good signing, but this isn't gonna cut it. 5.5 sacks through the last 2 years here. That's, I guess he's only been getting like 3 sacks, 2 sacks, but look how little he's been playing to get. What I don't know if like this is true, and it's probably just like some flat earther shit, but I feel like Madden tries to, I don't know, make players get similar stats to what they've had in real life. But no, that can't be true. There are tackles in this game that allow 20 sacks. I don't know. Players that don't play much in real life and don't get that many like sacks because of it will hardly get sacks in simulation, but not because they're hardly playing, just because they play terribly for whatever reason. I don't know. This game is making me a conspiracy theorist. I don't know. All that to say, we're going to be trading Bryce Huff for a 2nd-round pick from the Broncos. Definitely too much for how he's been playing here, but for the player in real life, I feel like that's about fair. But honestly, I don't know if we're going to do much in free agency. I don't know if we need to. It kind of isn't that good of a free agent class for what we need. There are good receivers, good linemen, which we don't really need either of those, and there weren't any good pass rushers or D linemen, and anyway, I think we're going to draft a D lineman, so I'm going to be boring again, but we're not going to sign any free agents. You know what? Maybe I lied. Maybe we should go for like Zadarius Smith just so we do some, because he is a scheme fit as a power rusher. He's very, very hit or miss in this game. He'll either get like 3 sacks or teen and win Defensive Player player of the year. Like, you just don't know what you're gonna get. But we'll sign him, assuming he wants to, and he does. Okay, cool. But let's get to the draft. But okay, in the draft, we pick at 27. I really don't know what I want to do in the draft this year, though. That's the problem. This is a pretty, like, great defensive end class. Mostly for 4-3 defensive ends, though. Like, Monty Arnold, Cordell Stewart, great name. David Gibson, who's kind of a tweener. He's 6'3", 280, kind of a weird build. So I guess maybe he could work as a 4-3 D end, or a 3-4. Why am I, like, flipping those in my mind? 3-4 D end. Ooh, there is also Anton Burnett. Ooh. Okay, I don't think he would fall to us, but if he somehow did, I would him in a heartbeat. DeMarco Wheatley also looks pretty good. Okay, this looks like a decent D-line class. This looks like a good defensive class in general. Dion Lyons, what's his speed? Great speed, great acceleration. Okay, I was gonna maybe think about trading up, but I don't know if we need to. DeMar Tucker, good speed, good acceleration, insane ratings. Okay, let's see who's available with our pick. Also, Tevin Skinner looks good, but let's see who's left. Okay, Cordell Stewart is still here. David Gibson, who I think we are gonna take with the next pick, maybe? No, the corners are gone. Did they go like right before? No, it was a tackle before us. I should have traded up. I thought they would be available still, though. Damn it. Okay. Oh, well. There are always good corners in draft classes, but I think those two were, like, really good. But Jeremy Pinkins also might be really good. Great speed, elite acceleration, elite agility, elite jumping, A-man, B-press, B-zone, C player ec, which is always what you look. If there's a corner with B player ec, they're probably really good. But usually even the best ones only have C. Okay, I think we'll go with Jeremy Pinkins here. He looks really good. Probably like a 78-ish, maybe better. I think those other ones were like 80-something overall, maybe as high as like 82s, but we'll take Pinkins. Hidden Dev, that's really surprising. He's also 6'3" with 93 speed. This dude is, if this was a real corner, this dude would be maybe the best corner in the league, or could turn into that. But here, let's go with one of those defensive ends. We could also like do some weird strategy and take like Cordell Stewart here and then Gibson, but we don't use speed rushers. That's not our edge scheme, which it's annoying you still can't change that. I wish you could. Oh, we also have, why do we have 3 second-round picks this year? Is that right? I don't know if we should. Why do we have this second overall second-round pick? Am I forgetting about a trade? I don't know. But we'll go with David Gibson, first to second-round talent. Maybe not the best value, but like, we need D-line. Gonna be a bit of an interesting fit as a 3-4 D end, but fuck it, we ball. I don't know. Benji Overeem looks pretty good. Elite strength. The only thing is he doesn't have A awareness, but his power isn't horrible. It's a C. That's usually what you look for if it's not their scheme fit. I don't know. I don't know if he's good. I can't tell. We definitely do need at least one more lineman, especially if this is a realistic rebuild. You know the Eagles love to build up their O-line depth in the draft, which is like maybe my favorite strategy that any team uses in real life, but I kind of like Alex Clark. Lots of A ratings, great strength. Pretty much everything at the combine was great, except his speed was just good. Sure. Hidden Dev, 89 strength. Cool. But let's see. Let's take one more pick. Our last second-round pick. Again, I don't know why we have 3. I'm probably just stupid and forgetting something, but welcome to the channel. I do that a lot. You know what? We could go with another corner. Keegan Munford looks pretty good. I don't know if we need to do that, though. Oh, DeMarco Wheatley's still here. Okay, I'll probably go with him. I know we just took a D lineman a couple picks ago, but great strength, great ratings, hidden dev, 92 strength. Sounds good. But okay, here's how we did in the draft. Honestly, not as good as I was expecting. So Jeremy Pinkins is really good, 79 overall. That's about what I expected there. 80-man, 77 zone. That's cool. David Gibson, 75. That's about what I expected. But Alex Clark, I thought could be like a 78. He's only a 74, which is still good. Pretty good for the early second, but I thought he would be better, and I really thought DeMarco Wheatley would be a lot better. I mean, he looked crazy on paper, just not a very good pass rusher, despite having like B ratings there. I mean, I guess we didn't know for sure what his power moves was, so apparently that was a C. But I also took Tyree Jackson. He's good. Good guard. I didn't think he would be as good as Clark, though. And then I also took Dotson. He's not very good, and Shivers. He's not very good. So whatever. Good for, you know, the picks we had, but not crazy. I want to see, what were the other corners rated, though? Was this just a bad draft class, or? Yeah, maybe. Dion Lyons was an 81. He's really good. And then who was the other one? I don't think it was Sidney Allen. He went too early. DeMar Tucker, maybe? Who was the other one? Yeah, I guess it must have been Tucker. Tevin Skinner was also really good. We were thinking about him, but he got picked right before us. But hey, we still got a good corner. Still like a top, I guess tied for like 6th in terms of overall. So sounds good. And let's get into year 3. But okay, here we are heading into year number 3 already. This has felt like a quick one. I mean, again, we haven't really had to do too much to this team, obviously, but we have drafted pretty well. Now up to an 89 overall, by by the way, which I want to check in a second where that ranks in the league, but very good team on paper. A few rookies starting on defense like Pinkins and Gibson. Too many, but a couple. My concern still kinda is the pass rush with this team. It should be better though, but I don't know if Jalen Carter's gonna necessarily repeat what he did. We'll see. But like I said, let's see where we rank at an 89 overall. Maybe not the best team, but maybe. Because usually by this point, the best team is around like an 88. Usually the Eagles are one of those. So yeah, 89 looks like it is the best. The Chiefs are only an 88, so we do have the best roster in the league. That's cool. But all right, let's get to the midseason point, and hopefully, I don't know, sometimes year 3 in simulation is the down year, sometimes year 4. There's always a down year, always a disappointing year. Could be this year, we'll see. But okay, we are 6-1 at the midseason. Definitely not underperforming here. Well, our defense is. Our offense isn't, though. What's wrong with our defense? We have 3rd worst pass D in the league. We're 21st for points per game allowed. Not great. Let's see, our offense is doing well, but are we just not getting pressure? I see Gibson has 5 sacks, 4 for Carter, but only 2 for Zadarius Smith and Josh Sweat. And I guess we're just allowing a lot of yards. Do any of our DBs not have like any pass deflections or something? Because I might bench them. No, they all do. I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. But at least we're 6-1. It definitely could be worse. But we have some re-signings here. We have to re-sign Saquon Barkley, Devontae Smith, who didn't he get a deal? Oh, I guess maybe that's up. I don't know. I've stopped caring about like realistic contracts in Madden because they're just so all over the place. And it would almost be unrealistic to make them realistic because every other team here has messed up contracts, so we might as well fit in, I guess. But Saquon will obviously re-sign 3 years, 49 mil. He takes it. We don't have that much money though. Devontae Smith will go 5 years, 101 mil, but honestly, Devontae Smith hasn't been like playing much. I mean, I guess he has, but we're just not a very pass-heavy offense. I don't know. I'd rather prioritize Jordan Mailata. I said that really weirdly, but 3 years, almost 90 mil. I guess 84. That isn't really almost 90, but whatever. And then we only have 23 mil left, and we have to re-sign Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, CJ Gardner-Johnson, and Cam Jurgens. Well, we're gonna have to make a decision on one of these 4 players. We kind of have other options at receiver. And for real life, I would obviously re-sign Devontae Smith. Maybe I still should, but like 800 yards, 1 touchdown, 600 yards, 3 touchdowns. Like, this is why I want to go with a more pass-heavy offense, but it's been good, so I don't want to change it. But Dallas Goedert's also getting like worse production, and he's older, but he is a lot cheaper. I don't want to give a 4-year contract to a 30, soon-to-be 31-year-old tight end, though. All right, we'll re-sign Devontae Smith. We'll go, let's see if he takes neutral, 4 years, 70, and he doesn't, of course. So we'll reassess at the end of the year. I kind of thought we would run into cap troubles sooner, but we're slowly starting to run into them. But let's get to the end of the year, and we will see how we finish. But okay, here we are at the end of year number 3, and if you've seen one of these videos before, y'all know why we're here. Again, if you haven't already, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe if you've been enjoying. Sounds stupid, but it very much helps out the channel. And you know, you can be one of the first like 6,000 subscribers on this channel if you care about that. But here's how the team is looking after year number 3. As for dev traits, I think, well, I would say most of them are star, but I think only 2 are revealed. But 1 out of the 2 is David Gibson with superstar dev, so that's huge. He's also already up to 87, playing up to an 88 power moves. That's crazy. So that was definitely a very good pick. This D-line is insanely good. You know what? Kai Hawkins could have a pretty good dev trait. He was like a 66 defensive end, but I moved him to outside linebacker and he went up 4 overall. I've seen some like random D linemen have superstar or X factor later in the draft for whatever reason. So we'll see. Pinkins unfortunately only had star, but whatever. In year number 3, we finished 12-5 and we once again made the playoffs. So we had the best scoring offense in the league with 27 points per game, which, you know, I don't actually know. What's like the usual best scoring offense in the NFL? Okay, yeah, I was gonna say 27 isn't amazing. That would have been 6th in real life, which is really good, but 27 is 1st is kind of crazy. In 2022, that would have been 4th. 2021, that would have been 7th. 2020, that would have been 11th. That's crazy. As for stats, Jalen Hurts didn't exactly light up the stat sheet. 3,800 yards, 18 touchdowns, 5 picks. That's not a lot of touchdown passes. That might be the least I've seen for like a good quarterback in a while. Oh, and I want to see if my theory got confirmed. Yep, Kenny Pickett got signed by the Raiders. It doesn't look like he did super well, but it doesn't look like he played that much. They started Aiden O'Connell for a few of the games. That's interesting. So not a great year for Jalen Hurts, but it looks like he did well in the few passing attempts he got. But 1,700 yards for Saquon, 5.7 per carry, 20 touchdowns, and 13 rushing touchdowns for Jalen Hurts. So how many, wait, I think that's 41 rushing touchdowns, which CJ Uzama also got one. That's interesting. AJ Brown, 1,150 yards again, 9 touchdowns, 800 yards for Devontae Smith, 700 for Goddard. Ooh, Tyler Steen was kind of terrible at right tackle, but Cam Jurgens joins the all-castration team, allowing 0 sacks in a season. You love to see it. But Devin White led the team in tackles again, lots of TFLs, of course, 17 for Zadarius Smith, but sacks? Again, pretty terrible. 7.5 for Gibson, 7 for Carter, 5.5 for Smith, 3 for Josh Sweat. Okay. And then picks 2 for Blankenship and DeJean, 1 for 3 players. Not very good. But MVP goes to Lamar, Jalen Hurts at number 6, Saquon at number 2 for Offensive Player of the Year. Of course, it goes to CeeDee Lamb, a division rival. Jalen Hurts at 4, no Eagles for Defensive Player of the Year. Julian Dillard at number 8 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I definitely remember who that is. Definitely. But David Gibson does win Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's huge. Probably not going to get a dev trait because the game hates me, but that's still cool. Jeremy Pinkins at number 4. I kind of wish he would have done well enough to win it because he actually doesn't have Superstar already, obviously. But let's see who we are going to be taking on in the divisional. We might have a chance to do well this year because the Cowboys aren't in the playoffs. Or well, at least I would assume they aren't at 8 and 9, but you never know. Never mind, we don't have a chance. We're going to be taking on the Carolina Panthers. Great. Another one of the teams that do way too well in the playoffs in this game. So no scenarios here, nothing to stall the loss that we are about to receive. So let's simulate this game. There's a chance we win. Okay, we do. 35-28. It was close, much closer than it should have been with us being at home, better record, and much better overall team. But at least we win. It could have been worse. And we get an upgrade for David Gibson. That's cool. But we are going to be taking on possibly an even scarier team, the Green Bay Packers. I mean, they're kind of the new Cowboys in simulation where they just win every Super Bowl. Actually, I don't know if they've won one yet, but I think, yeah, they won last year and then they lost the first one. So they're scary. But we have the better team. We're at home and we have a better record. We deserve to win this game. But will we? We do. We win 28-21 against the Packers. And we are going to be moving on to our first Super Bowl of the rebuild. Took us longer than it should have, but sometimes, you know, we don't make one at all when we deserve to. So we'll take it. And we're going to be taking on the Houston Texans, who went 15-2 with only an 86 overall team. Like, if anyone deserved to go 15-2, it was definitely us. But we have a good amount of upgrades here. 2 for Gibson, 1 for Smith and Blankenship. Let's see if we have any dev traits or dev increases, dev ups, whatever you want to call them. Okay, I don't see any on offense unless I'm blind. And then on defense, did Zadarius Smith get one or did he have that? Yeah, he got X Factor. Why? I guess he had TFLs, but like, that's not exactly the main thing you look for. But we have a Super Bowl Media Day scenario. I mean, if we win this Super Bowl, we might have to go out here. I don't know. It's only been 3 years, though. We'll at least do one more year. So we'll say this is just the beginning, ideally. But let's jump in against the Texans and let's see what happens. I'm so glad I got a new PC. It loads so quickly. It used to take seriously like 3 or 4 minutes to load up the Super Bowl. It took like 10 seconds. But this is a very, very, very possible future Super Bowl. Texans versus Eagles. If the Eagles, like I said, can keep their team together, kind of like we have here, then there's a chance. But let's simulate this game out, and we will see what happens. We do score first to make it 7-0. It looks like we stop the Texans and get a touchdown. They do finally score, but we score right back to make it 21-7. We are about to score again before halftime, making it 24-7, now 27-7, now 34-10. We are just destroying them as we beat the Texans 34-16 in the Super Bowl. It wasn't even close. As we get the Eagles, I think their second ever Super Bowl win. I believe the one they got in 2018 was their first, so we get them their second. Unfortunately, no Super Bowl for CJ Stroud here, but to be fair, on paper, we were the much better team, so we deserve it. But like I said, we're gonna do one more year. This is already a success. It's honestly, I think, been a while since we've won a Super Bowl in one of these realistic rebuilds. We were on a streak where we won like the first 4 or something, first 4 or 5, but then it just went downhill. Speaking of maybe going downhill, Hill, we have some players to re-sign, of course, and we have more money. Unless that's just the cap expanding. Someone might have retired. I don't know who would have, though. Maybe not. No, I think we're good. But we'll obviously pick up the 5th year for Jalen Carter, and then we're gonna... I guess we can get both Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert back. I kind of want CJ Gardner-Johnson back because he's gotten a decent amount of picks. Well, actually, never mind. He got a decent amount of picks the first year. Since then, he's had 0. Okay, maybe not. I'm not that big of a CJ Gardner-Johnson fan anyways. I mean, he gets interceptions, but in coverage, he's a little questionable at times. But we'll go player-friendly for Devontae Smith. Hopefully, he takes it. If he doesn't, it's not the end of the world because like I've been saying, we're just not using him. But we'll go 5 years, 111 mil, and he does take it. Okay, cool. Dallas Goedert, we'll go 3 years, 39.9 mil. He takes it. And then, like I said, we'll let CJ Gardner-Johnson go. We won't pick up the 5th year for Nolan Smith. I think he could be good, but here he just isn't really. He's not a scheme fit. I mean, he is technically, but like for the rush end position, he's like a 68 overall or something on both sides. But Cam Jurgens, we're definitely going to bring back. He's been really good. 4 years, 36. He takes it. That's pretty damn cheap. And then everyone else, I think we will let go. So let's get into the final free agent class here, and we will see if there's anyone we can add or if we're fine. I'll restructure all our deals, obviously, and we actually should have a decent amount of money. I haven't restructured deals once, unless everybody's coming down to the last year of their deal. I don't know. But okay, here's what we are gonna do in free agency. I'm not sure what we're gonna draft, like what position, because of what we're doing here, but we'll go for Braden Smith, Tommy Townsend, Kyle Duggar, and Jake Elliott. You know, like I said, Tyler Steen wasn't great last year at tackles, so we'll try to sign Braden Smith, and then obviously no more CJ Gardner-Johnson, so we will bring in Kyle Duggar. The only thing is, I set safety as our focus position, and now we're just not going to need a safety, but I would rather for sure fix a position and then not know what to draft than wait for the draft to fix a position, I guess, when it's going to be the last year anyways. Like, obviously, signing a player will make the team more expensive for the future, but that doesn't matter here. This is the last year. So, also, we have Sidney Brown. Like, that isn't the worst, obviously, but might as well upgrade where we can upgrade. So, let's see if these 4 players do want to sign. The big one I want is Braden Smith, so hopefully he signs. Oh, and of course, everybody signs except for Braden Smith, but we do get Tommy Townsend, Kyle Duggar, Jake Elliott. All right, we're gonna, I guess, go very player friendly and up it even more because why not? It's not like we have anything else to spend this money on. And he does sign now. Okay, cool. So greedy. Surprisingly, we don't go up in overall though. I mean, those were 2 pretty big upgrades, but whatever. Let's get to the draft and we'll have to see if there's anything we can do. The only thing I don't like about this team is still the pass rush, but there wasn't anyone in free agency that we could add. So we'll figure something out. I guess we still have Jalix Hunt. We haven't really given him an opportunity. I will say, I think Jalix Hunt could be really good. I really like players who are just switching to a new position and are showing like anything at all. Because a lot of the time it seems like they develop into really good players, like Tariq Woolen from receiver to corner, for example. I don't know. I like that strategy. It works a lot. Jalix Hunt was, I think, a safety or something. I don't know. I can't remember. But okay, here in the final draft, I am gonna trade up, I think. I mean, we might as well. Just where do we want to trade up? Maybe 22? Is that high enough? I don't know. The guy I'm looking at looks pretty good. I'll say that. I don't know for sure. I've had players that have looked better but not be good. I've had players that look worse that end up being better. I don't know. It's a position I'm not very good at scouting. I'll say that, but might as well take a chance. So we'll trade 32 and 64 for 22 and 150, I think the 5th round pick is. So I thought that was the guy. Okay. He might already be gone because I think Fisher was ranked below the player I was looking at, but we're obviously going for a pass rusher. And no, he is still here. It is Jeremy Gresham, right? This was the one? No, it wasn't Jeremy Gresham. It was Antonio Goodrich. A awareness, play rec, power moves, pursuit, impact blocking for whatever that's worth, and then A to B tackle, B block shed. The only couple concerns I have is I wish he had a little better finesse moves, and he didn't really have like a crazy combine. He has really good strength, great strength, but good speed, only marginal acceleration, and he's 23 years old. I didn't notice that, but I mean, we already traded up, we already committed. We'll take him. Normal dev. Okay, probably not that good, but I had to take a chance. And then last pick, let's see if we can find anyone good. Oh, there was a 1st to 2nd round talent safety that was supposed to be available right now, but no, I guess this is the range he was supposed to go. Brian Johnson looks decent, at least well-rounded. I don't know, he has like a B everything playing at defensive tackle. Corey Bryant, I thought his name was Kobe Bryant. We don't really need more linemen though, but we don't really need anything, to be fair. So I think we'll take him. He looks good. There's also a good looking center that's maybe better, but Bryant looks good. Hidden dev, cool. I might take like one more pick if we really need depth somewhere. I'll take a look, but even then we could just sign some free agents. So I don't know, but I think we did maybe okay. I don't know how much it matters even if we didn't though. Okay, yeah, not a great draft, but I tried. But here's a look at the team heading into the final year here. Looking good at a 90 heading into the year. 93 overall offense and an 88 defense. This team is nice. Mostly still looks just like the Eagles. It's mostly all Eagles players. I mean, just a new center and right tackle on offense, and then I guess a new third receiver. The defense is, of course, a little different. Mostly different corner group, but still, I mean, 2 Eagles players. 1 new safety, 1 new linebacker, 1 new edge rusher, outside linebacker, and 1 new D lineman. But other than that, I mean, this is just the Eagles pretty much, but even better. We're also not a very good scheme fit at all on offense, but I don't think there is a better one. We're better vertical zone run offense, but I know sometimes it's bad to mess with the scheme. Should we though? I don't know. We'll try it. We already have our Super Bowl. We can live dangerously. I don't even know if it is dangerous. Sometimes people tell me that it does do something. Sometimes people tell me that it doesn't. I have no idea. My comments are an interesting place. I'll say that. But let's just get straight to the end of your number 4, and we will see what happens. We probably won't even make the playoffs though. Okay, well, never mind. We do make the playoffs going 10-7, but it was scary. I could tell we were gonna underperform because, like I always say, for some reason, if you underperform in the preseason, or you just do terribly in the preseason, you'll also do poorly in the regular season, at least to start out. At the midseason point, we were 2-5, so, and then we also lost to the Ravens, so we were 2-6 at one point. And then we ended up winning the last 7 games, I think. Yeah, so we really had to bounce back. I think we won like 8 of the last 9. It came out to something like that. This game is stressful, dude. This game, I don't know why I don't know how simulation is coded in this game. I don't know if it's random, but it doesn't seem random. It seems like they did some stupid shit to it to where like there's a forced down year every once in a while. Now we at least didn't do too bad, but I just don't know why that's a thing. Like, as I always say, if a team has a down year, it's usually because there's some like big injury or something, or a lot of injuries. But in franchise, it's like completely random, and I just hate, or it's, I don't know if it's random. I don't know if it's like something they forced happening or forced to happen, because you can always kind of predict when it's gonna happen. I really sound like a conspiracy theorist today, but that's how I feel. But Jalen Hurts was good. I mean, just about the same year he's had every year here. Saquon Barkley, 1,400 yards, only 4.6 per carry, which is still good, but 20 touchdowns. Also 10 rushing touchdowns for Brian Robinson. We just signed him because he was an unsigned free agent. But 1,000 yards for both Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. I didn't really expect Devontae Smith to lead us in yards this year, but I'm glad he did. Made that contract worth it, I guess. Jordan Mailata ended up letting up the most sacks, which I would say that's fair because he's a left tackle, but also he shouldn't have. Also, Jose Herrera wasn't great, but hardly any tackles, which is, I guess, a good thing. Lots of TFLs, and then, okay, I mean, better in terms of sacks than last year. 9 for Carter, 7.5 for Sweat, 6 for Smith, 5.5 for Gibson. I didn't mean to click him, but interceptions, 2 for Pinkins and Mitchell, and then 1 for 4 different players. So, I don't know, our stats ended up being pretty good. I'm surprised we started 2-5, but Jalen Hurts was at number 6 for MVP, Saquon at number 3 for Offensive Player of the Year, Hurts at 7, and then that's it for awards. But we are gonna be taking on the LA Rams here, which, you know what, again, I'll be petty. I'll give myself room to complain if we lose. I want to see where a 91 overall ranks in the league. I don't know if we're the best anymore because we didn't do like super amazing this year. I bet the Chiefs are tied with us or maybe past us for overall, but we still might be better. Nope, we're still 2 overall better. The Chiefs are only an 89, yet we only went 10-7. Make it make sense. I don't know. The Saints are only an 80 overall. That's insane. I'm sure they weren't the worst team in the league. Actually, maybe they are the worst team a lot in terms of record. Okay, yeah, they were tied for it with the Jets. Interesting. But we have a playoff blizzard here, which definitely works in our favor going against an LA team, or at least it should work in our favor. But no other scenarios here, so possibly the final game of the rebuild. It looks like the Rams weren't that good this year. They were 23rd for points per game. It looks like they had an all right defense, but still like below average. How is this a playoff team? But let's see what happens, and we lose. Big surprise. But hey, we won a Super Bowl. We made a really good team. This was a lot of fun. And again, be sure to leave a like, be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed, if you haven't already. Let me know if I should should do the NFC South or the NFC West next down in the comments. Each comment counts as a vote, like I said. And if you want to see any other team in this division other than the Cowboys, those are all up on the channel, and then every NFC North team rebuild is also up on the channel. So feel free to watch those, but thank you all so much for watching, and with that, I will see y'all again in the next video. Goodbye.